people have been saying, why is it that Lewis seems to get away with so many things with the FIA? And I'll tell you why. Because at the beginning of his career, anything he did was wrong.
Yes.
So at one point, Lewis read the rule book from back to front. Because he knew any mistake I make is going to get overly penalised more than anybody else. So he knows where all the fine margins are. Make sure they go through them with a fine-tooth comb, because he knows if he at any point does anything, he'll get penalised for it. Right. There's a point this year where I think he stopped just outside the outlet from the pit lane to do a practice start. Something which he's done before, right? And he ends up getting penalised for it, being told that it's dangerous. And he was like, but I've done this before. And then they showed 3 occasions where he's done this before, and there was never a problem.
Sure. Affinity Extra. Be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Yeah, guys, it's your boy here, Roger Moore here from Affinity Extra. We're here to celebrate gospel music of Black origin, and I'm here having, as you see, the set is not set for my show today, because the set is set for extra hot recordings we're doing all day. But you know what, there's something extra hot that's been going on right now, which is the disaster of the F1 racing. Now, I am not an F1 expert. I was when I was younger, because my dad forced me to not forced me to watch it. We watched it over Sunday dinner. I don't know if you experienced that wisdom. Watching over Sunday dinner, you're eating your food and you're seeing cars go mew 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 mew. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I couldn't do this without one of the experts. So I text one of the experts who kicked off yesterday anyway, after telling me he kicked off, so I had to wait for him to settle down and drink 2 Guinness punch and sleep good and get up and everything still, But I thought one of the guys who actually loves and adores F1 for some reason, must be because he's a Liverpool fan, but it's definitely wisdom, you might know him for his couple of his rap skills, and he does a few things on the side anyway. So when it comes to musicality, but his passion is F1 and football anyway. Still, But I had to reach out to him because I think that it's important to have an educated perspective, because I'm seeing blogs go out about this, about Grand Theft Auto, and I'm seeing the response of the of the English fans, because I do feel, to be honest, I'll be honest with you, Wisdom, I am disappointed in them, because, you know, when I sent you that link of the video there, now, I know when Andy Murray, won the Wimbledon, and you looked in the same setting, every single one of them would have been crying. Every single one. To see half and half, bro. And not like, and you know, if there was Dutch people there, they'll be wearing the orange. You know, Dutch, if you're going to be in a country by yourself, you're going to wear the same way we'll go to represent Jamaica, we'll wear our colours, because we know we're not in our hometown, you know. So I'm looking into a room, so I want to break into that as well. Why isn't Lewis really loved in the UK? You know what I'm saying? And for me, I turned on Talk Sport afterwards, and one of the people phoned up and says, and you know, you can probably tell he's a white guy. He just turned around straight and says, because of his braids, because of this, because of that, because he lives outside the country, people don't look at him like him. And we interpret that as, because he's black, we don't get behind one of the greatest sportsmen that has ever lived from this country. But we'll break into that, and I know wisdom, we're gonna break into this. But wisdom, for the numpty like myself, now I'll just pitch what I saw of the race. I switched it on. I was excited. I sat down, bro. Press F1. Boom. Kickoff time. Is it 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Press the play. First bend. Man got pushed off the track, bro. And I thought, hold on a second. So when's the
crashing?
Bro, and it's like, is there going to be a stop? From when I saw that, bro, I switched off the TV. I walked away. I said, nah, I can't watch this. And then the worst thing was, bro, I came back to it. I thought, Roger, stop it, man. Because I'll get mad at these things, bro. I'll just get mad and start throwing things around. And then I turned it on, and I saw a safety car at the end. And I thought, hold on a second. Yo, Lewis, why is What are the rules? Whatever the referee says. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I just give you my perspective of what I saw, bro. I saw two teething things said to me, I ain't watching the F1 for a long time because, you know, it was really cheesing off and I didn't want to go there. But when I went to your Instagram, you went there, bro. Yeah. So you as somebody who's watched the journey throughout the year, explain to me what has been going on for this 20 or 21 season, the COVID season, the season coming out of the pandemic, Verstappen, where, you know, Lewis Hamilton has overtaken every record apart from one, Schumacher's record of championships. Now, just give us a bit of I'm giving the floor now. Just explain this 2021 season and the build-up of it and what happened at the beginning and why Lewis was on catch-up.
I'll explain the season, but I have to give you the context.
Okay, go for it, man.
The context is, if you ever seen a film Cool Runnings?
Unfortunately,
right?
yeah.
Jamaican bobsleigh team, right?
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton once said, if you want to know what my life is, watch that film without the jokes. But basically, since the day he started, Lewis Hamilton was the only black driver.
Wow.
To this point now, in karting now, he's still the only black driver. Right? In America, I think there are 3 black professional racing drivers. One of them are the greatest in the world. He is the greatest. Right? He has beaten he has with the 7 championships he has, and bearing in mind the UK has produced more championship drivers than any other country in the world when it comes to Formula 1.
Formula 1,
he has more championships now at 7 than all of the rest of the English champions combined. Right? That is how successful he is. They renamed the straight in the British Grand Prix, where the start straight, the Hamilton straight. This guy has won 100 poles, which is when you win the qualifying, over 100 poles and over 100 races.
Okay.
No, the closest other person to him has won, I think, 70.
Yeah, mate. Oh, wow.
The entire history of F1. This is the greatest racer that there has ever been. Forget that he's black. He is just the greatest racer that there's ever been. From the time he came in, there has been this undercurrent of we can't let him win. And it got to a point where this season, so what happened last season, because of the pandemic, what happens with F1 is they change the rules a little bit and the cars have to change to them, right? So the cars have to fit within a certain amounts of tolerances. There's different things they are allowed to have on them, things that they're not allowed to have on them. For the last 2-3 years, Mercedes-Benz has been ahead of everybody else. So they changed the rules. There was a big change coming this year, which they postponed for a year, which are coming in next year.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I heard.
The idea of that was to make it more competitive, okay? But then last year, when they won again, they produced a rule that said for this year, you are not allowed to, the team that wins has less time to develop their car. And that meant that all the other teams had more time
to catch up.
And they changed, so they could catch up. And they changed certain regulations specifically to make sure that Mercedes was slower. So it isn't, to start off with, it's not that Lewis has become a worse driver or that Max has become a better driver. Yeah. It is they handicap the car. So to put it in these terms, it's like saying, you know what, that Messi's too good. And you know what, for this year, we're going to tie both arms behind his back and see if he can still do it. That's what they did.
Got you.
Can't have Barcelona keep winning everything. Yeah. So therefore, rather than everybody get better, let's tie Messi's arms behind his back and see how he does. Right? The problem is, you did that with Messi. If you did that with Messi, he would still score goals. And that's what happened this season. So even with all of the restrictions and everything else, Max is now feeling like, I can beat this guy and everything else. We get to the latter part of the season and finally Mercedes catch up with their development. And their car, which has been up and down all year, all of a sudden hits its stride. Yeah, man. To the point where so what happens in you're allowed a certain amount of engines a year. That's correct. Yeah. They've gone over their amount at Mercedes. And they put in their final developed engine. And they got what you call a grid penalty, which is where you have to go back a number of places in the grid.
Yeah, I think I remember when it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Effectively, now bearing in mind, there's 20 places on the grid. Mm-hmm. Effectively, Lewis Hamilton got a 25 place grid penalty, right? That's how big a penalty he was given. My guy wins the race from the back. From the back. He drove through everyone, right? Next race, wins that. This race, the race before, wins that, and ends up coming to the last race, having been 33 points behind 4 races ago, comes back at this final race equal on points. And the thing was, going into the race, if I'm honest, I was just scared that at the first corner, Max would just run into him.
Yeah, man.
And take them both out, because that is the kind of thing that he does.
Yeah.
So when you see, like you said, you were watching it, Lewis gets him on the first corner, and then on corner 6, Max tries to come round, and Lewis gives him a wide, he runs off the track. And the reason he does that is because he knows Max will crash into you deliberately.
Yeah.
And then give some reason why, oh no, it wasn't a crash, it was Lewis's fault. Because he's done this already this season. Max literally drove into the back of his car, drove over his car, and hit Lewis Hamilton on the head with a wheel, right? With the back tire. So we can't play games with this guy because he's uncontrolled.
Yeah. Uncontrolled.
Uncontrolled, right? So Lewis then takes off. So 58 lap race. Lewis is winning and is uncontested for that entire 50 laps of the race. Verstappen gets nowhere near him. We got 10 laps to go, and a friend of mine messaged me and go, "How are you doing?" And I was writing a text that was going to say, "Watching Lewis win his 8th world championship." And I stopped myself and I went, "Lewis has 10 laps to go.
Behave yourself."
Right? That's how gaslighted this thing has me, right? To the point where I can't even. Man's 14 seconds ahead at this point. There's 5 back markers in between him and his championship rival. There should be no way I should be concerned, other than his car blowing up, that he can't win. But still, at that point, an hour and 45 minutes into the race, I'm still thinking, have they got a sniper somewhere? Do you know what I mean? Have they paid off somebody to do something? And I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And then Nicholas Latifi. Now, understand, right? What you have in F1 is you've got some great races, and then there's some dudes who have no understanding why they are allowed to be in a car. There's like 3 of them. Mazepan, Sutton Schumacher's son, and Latifi. Yeah. Latifi is, I don't know how this brother is on the track. This man hasn't scored a point in F1. I don't know if he's finished most of the races. But anyway, 5 laps ago, Latifi managed to drive his car straight into a wall. Dude, you're not even going that quickly in comparison to everybody else. Anyway. So we bring out what's called the safety car, which means all the cars slowed down. And at the time when they slowed down, they were all going to stay in the same configuration. So
correct.
Lewis was 5 back markers ahead. So there were 5 cars in between him and Max. So if it started again like that, Max would have to get through those cars to get to Lewis, which is fair because that's how. It comes up on the screen saying they will resume the race in this order. You hear Christian Horner, or Karen, as we like to call him, on the phone to the FIA saying, "How's this fair? We should be doing this, blah, blah, blah. The back markers shouldn't be there," right? And the race director's like, "I'm trying to concentrate on other things, stop." Then all of a sudden, the thing comes off the screen and the 5 cars go past the safety car. It's like, Now, and the thing is, the rules state any cars that have been lapped, if you're going to do that, any car that has been lapped needs to go round the whole way.
Yeah.
There were 8 cars lapped, but only 5 in between Lewis and Max Verstappen, right? They only let those 5 cars pass. Then the safety car comes in. Then they tell them to start racing. Max has got fresher tires. If you're not in the lead, you can go in and get your new tires done, right? Lewis couldn't take that risk because if he did, he might come out behind Max. And that could be a problem later, especially because this guy likes to drive people off the track.
Yeah, man.
He couldn't take that risk. So he's now left with old tires, with Max on brand new tires right behind him with 1 lap to go. Max passes him.
Yeah, I saw that, unfortunately.
And everyone is going on like, oh, what a great race Max has won. Max ain't done nothing for 4 races. But, and that's all the technical side of it. So essentially, there's a couple of things that Mercedes have complained about. But here's the issue for me. Right, so that's all the technical things.
No, bro, you've explained it brilliantly because now that makes total sense. Just to give it,
you understand that, right?
Because I came in. Let me just before you go around, let me just give a football analogy. Is it like being 2-0 up in injury time, and then a hurricane, when a tornado goes through the pitch, and when they said, "Oh, we're gonna go to penalty shootout," and you're 2-0 up? Is it basically effective? Is that good? It's effectively that.
It's basically that. No, so if you want to put this in a whole setting, it's like essentially
all 5-0 up.
We've had 22 penalties scored each. Right? 21 penalties scored each.
Yeah.
Right? And for the final penalty, the referee comes up and takes it and smashes it in for the opposition. That's what happened. That's essentially what happened.
Man, point at the referee, though.
The ref decided to take the ball, run through the whole team, messy up everybody, and shoot it in the top corner. That's what happened.
Boy, The
reason why, now people are like, why are you saying it's racist? And you're just complaining, you're bitter. It's not that. Every time you hear people talk about Lewis and the possibility of him winning number 8, you'll hear people say, yeah, he might win more than Schumacher, but we still can't say he's the greatest driver because times are different and this is this. And yeah, despite the fact he's won more races than everybody else. I mean, last year when he won number 7 and he equaled the record, the first thing that came out of, I think it was Martin Brundle's mouth, was, yes, obviously now Lewis has equaled the record, but he doesn't have the same win ratio as Fangio. And you're like, oh, where are you pulling them stupid stats from?
Bro, I might have wonder
to find a way to mean the situation. You can't just say, this guy is amazing. No, you can't do that. And the reason why this pains me is because there's a select group of black excellence on the planet right now. Right? And in that group, I would put Serena and Venus Williams.
Williams, 100%, man. Serena, man.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Okay.
And before I would have said Michael Jackson. And the reason why I say those, and Lewis Hamilton. And
what about LeBron James?
No, I wouldn't say as much LeBron James, but the reason why I say those guys, and I say this specifically, their parents sacrificed their entire lives and dedicated their entire lives to the success of those children. Right? Made sure beyond the shadow of a doubt that their children were going to be the greatest at whatever it is that they did, despite their circumstance. Right? Every single one of them has either been called demonic, selling their soul to Satan. Serena, people used to say she's actually a man. With, what's it called? Tiger Woods, they used to say he was hypnotized or something. Do you know what I mean? With Lewis, it's he's not really British because he lived in Monaco. Hold on. Every single racing driver lives in Monaco.
Yeah, I saw the one.
Nicholas Latifi lives in Monaco.
All there, bro.
So, therefore, you know, you hear all of these things about he's not British enough. He's got braids. He doesn't behave like a F1 driver. That was the one for years. You don't behave. What exactly does a F1 driver behave like? And they used to take. I couldn't watch Sky. I can't watch Sky for F1. I have to watch Channel 4 because Steve is a fan. The guy who presents the Channel 4 program, he is an actual fan. The others are all ex-F1 drivers.
Yeah.
And world champions.
Yeah.
And most of them
are jealous.
Basically, F1 drivers generally fit into two categories. The children of ex-F1 drivers, like Max Verstappen, or Damon Hill, or
rich kids.
The children of incredibly rich parents, like Lance Stroll, who owns Aston Martin and put his own son in his own car, right? That's the level of money that you're talking about, right? But I can't really take their opinions because for them, this is an elitist thing and he shouldn't even be here, let alone winning all this stuff.
This is it.
When I was watching the race, I was listening to Martin Brundle, and you could almost hear the disappointment in his voice that Lewis was winning.
Bro, this is what I'm saying to you, bro, because when I watch that crowd, bro, so-called, I'm seeing mixed opinions. And this says, you know, if you're listening and you're not black, and you're seeing two black men moan, you're going, they shouldn't moan about anything. Really have a look at yourself. When England... was going to win the Euros, as far as you're concerned, you're jumping up and down, you're cheering and whatever they're still, But I notice when it comes to losing, you take out the black players, abuse them, and you leave the white guys alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's reality. When Andy Murray won Wimbledon, even though he's Scottish, proud to be Scottish, you're like, yes! And Tim Henman, I don't think even Tim Henman won anything, but you should see him jumping up and down like crazy, every single one of them. But when I was thinking, is this an airport? I was thinking, to be honest, bro, when I sent you that video, bro, I thought, is it airport? You know, in the airport and people looking airport to Holland, and you had some people there from Europe and hoping that I would get it. But when you look at it, man, you had the security guard going, yes! And I'm going, hold on, Lewis just lost. How are you cheering up and down like that, bro? Like, that's why we got, that's what. Anyway, go on.
Some of them are not even celebrating that Max won. They're celebrating that Lewis didn't.
Isn't one. Yeah.
They're celebrating that Lewis didn't. And I saw an interview with Max on TV today where he effectively said, do you know what I mean? Lewis has got 7. It's all right for him. What? And I'm a part of I'm a part of the diversity panel for ITV News. I sent them a message this morning. And I work with ITV London. ITV National played that interview. ITV London listened to what I had to say. And their whole thing was questioning whether that was a legitimate win or not. Because we should be questioning. After we've just had all this debacle with people going, it's so terrible that we just realised that cricket is racist.
Oh, bro.
Despite the fact that the only countries who play cricket are all ex-colonies in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Australia,
South
Caribbean.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Pure them.
No one thought that there might be some racism involved in there. Nobody thought of that. So with all of that, and I remember saying when I was on the ITV panels, I was like, if you think cricket is bad, I beg you to look at the FIA in the same way.
Yeah.
I beg, please put them in front of a select committee. The FIA used to be run by a guy called Max Mosley. His father, Ed Mosley, created the British Fascist Party.
Good God.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I say, I've always said, I thought, I'd love if Lewis Hamilton has a movie, I think it should be called Uncool Runnings.
Yeah.
It's just like the Jamaican bobsleigh team without the jokes. And the thing is, it's like seeing the difference that this guy has made. Because trust me, you don't see people skiing kneeling about black justice.
Well, that's the point I was going to hit onto, bro. Because has he? Because I one thing that put me off F1, bro. When I tried to get back into it, in the lockdown, was when Lewis was doing the whole kneeing thing. Yeah, I'm seeing these rich white kids go, "Why are we doing this for?" Yeah. This is, we can't be bothered. You know what I'm saying? We can't be bothered. And I have to salute Hamilton because he's done better than the majority of the star footballers that we have in the world. Yeah, star footballers in the world haven't stood up.
Bro, this guy, right, started got a report written that showed about the lack of diversity, not in the racers, but in the engineers.
In engineers, yeah.
You have an excuse about the racers because, as I said, it's so difficult to become a racer. Why are you not employing any black engineers? Are you really saying there are no black engineers? So he's got a program out there getting young black engineers into Formula One who weren't able to get into it before. Getting women into Formula One. You know, when they went to the United Arab Emirates for the last 3 races, he had an LGBTQ whatever rainbow on his helmet.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, man.
Because he was willing, more so than anybody else, to stand in those countries where you can be put to death.
Yeah, man. Serious? Yeah, serious.
Right? Now, that is someone using their global power for good. Right? He's willing to stand out there. And the thing is, he ain't an arrogant Floyd Mayweather type.
Yeah.
He's not there going chatting things in his face. He does things with his actions. And that's why I respect him so much.
Yeah,
because
100.
in the midst of all of what he has faced, he has remained dignified. And the only comment he's ever really made off the cuff was he got a penalty one time and he did an impression of Ali G going, maybe it's because I'm black, innit? Right? And they went crazy. It's like, oh no, can't possibly. Why are they bringing a race card into it? It's got nothing to do with that. He wasn't following the rules. Like, you're crazy. Like, and I've watched this thing and I've tried to be dispassionate about it and just, no, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm black and I'm thinking that these things aren't there. But like, it is. I said in my video, I described this not just as racism, but Negrophobia.
I know that. I love that word there, bro. Negrophobia, bro.
Negrophobia. And what Negrophobia is, because I feel sometimes in the media we mix up, racism is about racist language. So somebody calls someone a name and, oh, they're a racist. That's not racism. That's racist language, right?
Yeah.
The difference for me with when I talk about Negrophobia is the fear of the oppressor or the colonizer. That those who they once colonized or oppressed will at some point become so powerful they could colonize and oppress them.
Nervous.
So we cannot allow that to happen under any circumstances. And we will use anything we can to make sure that you know your place. Your place is beneath us.
It's getting hot in here now, bro.
We will change the rules of an entire sport with 2 laps to go in broad daylight to ensure you're not passing Michael Schumacher, mate. We cannot have the world record holder or the winner of championships with your face. Can't. It's not allowed. We will put anything that we can in place. We'll throw some hothead who doesn't obey rules and will drive people off the track. We'll have him because he's the only person who's anywhere nutty enough to be anywhere near as good as you. And for the last 4 races of the season, when you finally developed your car to the rate it should have been, if you'd had the time to do it at the beginning of the season, we realised he's as far behind you as he was last year.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just how he had a head start. Yeah.
Messi got used to playing with his arms behind his back.
And the next minute, he's killing mans.
You know what I mean? And so that's the situation.
Explain it beautifully.
Sorry to go on, but like,
cool. Go for it, man.
How do I tell my son, be the best that you can be?
This is what I'm supposed to. Yeah.
Do I look at that and go, be the best you can be? Lewis Hamilton came from 25 places back to get himself back on track. 25 places. And you're telling me dude who's 14 seconds behind he's the world champion, having not won a race other than that race for the last 3 races. Fam. Nah, man.
Bro, and this is where I'm trying to explain to people is like, you know, we're trying to say to our children wisdom, you know, people don't realize, you know, we're seeing this blatantly in our faces and we were told to shut up and work twice as hard, 3 times as hard. You know what I'm saying? But them days are dumb, bro, because we shut up, bro. But now we're saying to our children, oh, you're going to get stopped by police. When you get stopped by police, you shut your mouth. And you know what shook me one time, bro? Is when a white pastor that I know, yeah, he said to me, yo, if I told my daughter when she gets stopped and she calls me when the police officer's there and she goes through what's happening and I'll tell you what to do. Bro, could you tell your son to pick up the mobile phone, call you when he's stopped? Bro, it's called hands down, bro. You get your spring out on the floor, do whatever he says to survive, and you better not have anything dodgy in your car. You know what I'm saying? Because that life and that life is 2 different things, bro.
Absolutely. And that again is another thing that, like, again this year, people have been saying, why is it that Lewis seems to get away with so many things with the FIA? And I'll tell you why. Because at the beginning of his career, anything he did was wrong.
Yes.
So at one point, Lewis read the rule book from back to front. Because he knew any mistake I make is going to get overly penalised more than anybody else. So he knows where all the fine margins are. Make sure they go through them with a fine tooth comb, because he knows if he at any point does anything, he'll get penalised for it. Right. There's a point this year where I think he stopped just outside the outlet from the pit lane to do a practice start. Something he's done before, right? And he ends up getting penalised for it, being told that it's dangerous. And he was like, but I've done this before. And then they showed 3 occasions where he's done this before, and there was never a problem. But this day, oh no, there was a change in the rules where it meant that we can't do that anymore. And you're seeing this, and you're like, this ain't right.
Nah.
This isn't right. And while life ain't fair, and I accept that. I think it's important to accept that life isn't fair. Sports needs to be a level playing field. Yeah. You cannot literally move the goalposts in the middle of a game. Imagine this now, right? Ronaldo goes up, or Fernandes goes up for a penalty, right? And as he's running up, right, the goalkeeper picks up the goalpost and moves it to the left.
Doesn't work, bro. Doesn't work, bro.
That doesn't work.
So why is the and it always comes across with me with the FIA and Formula One. Every time I try to get into it, it just seems like a bunch of rich white folk had just created up a gladiatorial thing for their kids to run around in the track, and because these kids don't mind, they like the risk and like the dying. You know, these rich kids that like to, because they're so bored all day long, they like to just drive fast and whatever. We need to get home and make sure we get up to go to work the next day, so we can't drive as fast. So it just seems like it just comes across as a rich kid sport. But what really struck me and disappointed me was after about 2-3 weeks after the Black Lives Matter situation with FIA, with the Formula One races, and you saw the drivers kind of kicking off. There was uncomfortable the first week, let's do this for fashion, and then the second week going, hold on a second, we're not into this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you saw that really come out, and it was disappointing because you just even felt like the commentary about it was almost really weird. And like he says, in Yorkshire now, you've got the whole racism thing with Yorkshire situation. But let's be real, bro. You know, my pastor Bishop, who talks on the station, he's from Bradford, and he says, Roger, they have a separate Asian league, and the reason for that is because they're not allowed to play with the white people, and if they let them in, they take it over. Yeah, a simple thing is, a simple thing like that. So and the reality show is that everybody knows the system or whatever. Everyone's in total denial until somebody steps out and says, calls it for what it is, and it's a shame and a disgrace. And this is where, for me now, it's a case of we can't now be quiet. Our generation now, bro. We can't now be quiet. We be respectful. We have to be thoughtful. We have to be clever. This is why the platform here for. When I thought, you know what, let's just talk about this reason for it and find out the deeper depths. And it's good how you explained it from the beginning, looking at the F1, looking at Lewis Hamilton. But and for me, sometimes we see him as especially as a child of mixed heritage. We're like, oh, is he quite? You know what I mean? At first, when he came in to see him, he says, oh, he's doing F1. He must be with the white side of the family. He don't really mess about it. He didn't play football, so he's not one of us and whatever. But, you know, over the years, you know, you're seeing how he hasn't walked away, and he's opening doors now for the next generation, which I like with what he's doing. And the LeBron, like I said, with LeBron, he's pushing for his colleagues to have better contracts in the team. And when I'm seeing people that care about their community in sport, it's amazing. Serena Williams, you know, she's been called all sorts, bro. You know what I'm saying? As a player. But one thing that hit me was one time about when Sharapova got banned for drugs. But they said that she was earning 10 times more than Serena Williams. How is that possible, bro? Because she was the perfect face for sponsorship. So she was earning 10 times more with only winning probably one title in about 10 years because she's blonde hair and blue eyes. Simple things, yeah, and that's the reality of the show. Is the money talks, but yet Serena was winning title after title after title after title after title, and absolutely got no backing, not as 10 times less than somebody who's inferior to them. And to see when they're gonna say, listen, man, guys, this is too much now, but we're gonna just open up our mouth and voice out about this because it's just unacceptable, bro. Absolutely unacceptable. But
this is the thing for me. It's like, you know, I'm now involved in running Mobile One, so
yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to do that was because I kept seeing artists get to a level that they can't then get past on their own.
Yeah.
And they need to have some sort of leverage to get them over. And it's like a lot of them, in some extent, had to sell out or take their clothes off or do some madness.
Yeah.
At that point. And I'm like, nah, Mobile has the leverage. Surely use this to help some of these artists who are putting their money where their mouth is, who are making their own music videos, who are doing decent streams, but aren't getting a look in on radio.
Yeah, man.
Aren't being put into decent playlists on Spotify.
Yeah, man.
They're not getting the sets on the Great Escape Festival, which is where all of the new artists for the year go to perform so that they can get booked for festivals next year. They're not getting festival bookings. You know, they're not being given the opportunity to develop their fan bases in the same way. As, say, for example, RD, who's just come from, it appears, nowhere to jump on that body track with Russ Millions.
Yeah.
And be, look at the state of her body, right? How is this kid from Brighton all of a sudden being mentioned around Getz and Stormzy and Dave? Bro, you've been here for 5 minutes. Like, literally. And I know some of the stuff behind that in the record company, and it was they made a decision that they just picked this kid and they shadow signed him, so he looked like he was an unsigned artist. And they put him with the right influencers, they put him in the right places and blah, blah, blah. When that remix happened, they paid for him to be on there. And now we have RD.
Jeez, bro.
We won't buy you flowers. Now, it's a similar sort of thing for me, as I say. It's that, it's F1, it's like, you know, they've got a new guy coming through. We're going to drive for Williams called George Russell. And again, another great white hype. You know, this guy smells of privilege. Like, it, you know, and I'm sure he's going to go on there and he'll do well. He's basically Jensen Button reborn.
Yeah.
Jensen Button won nothing but they go on like he's the greatest driver of all time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you know, it kind of is what it is, and to some extent, you have to accept that it isn't fair. And in music, I've accepted it's not fair. So therefore, I teach people, I teach young talent how everybody else cheats the system who doesn't have as much talent as you. Right? Because it only becomes fair if everyone's cheating. You know what I mean? If there's going to be drugs in sport, give everybody drugs. Let's see who's got the best drugs and who can run the fastest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's, you know, you can't do that in sport, but music, that's what it is. It's all of these people are cheating. Everybody knows, all them majors know exactly which trends TikTok are going to use. So they create a video 3 months in advance for the trend that TikTok are going to use 3 months down the line, and then they put it on and their song blows up. That's how it works.
Jeez.
Right? When we're cutting, right? That is how it works. So therefore, knowing what I know about the fact that, you know, when you see somebody who's got 17,000 views on their YouTube after a day, after a weekend, and this is their first single and nobody knows who they are, I'm looking at it and go, oh, that's YouTube ads. You paid about £200.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I know that. I'm in the industry. I know that.
Yeah.
So when I watch, again, Formula One, and I know what I know from being in the industry, and I look at that as a sport, and I go, I know the games you're playing, man, and it's disgusting.
Well, it's a real thing, and I think, you know, guys, you know, what we try to do, guys, is on this station is to really get into look, because we assessed on this about a few episodes ago. We looked into Colin Kaepernick documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you watched it. Yeah, and it was very triggering. You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of our growing up and seeing a lot of, you know, issues that he's faced, you know, and he was actually benefited from white privilege, because if he was brought up in a black family, he would never have had the opportunities that he had being in the white family. But at the same time, he saw the injustices towards black people, and sometimes you can see it better when you see the life outside, and then when you go into the ghetto or you see a certain zone, you go, hold on a second. You guys are not what these guys make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just like to see them injustices is throughout sport. You know what I mean? Baseball, American football. You know what I'm saying? Basketball. You know how we just now start seeing black coaches now hitting in American sports, but we're not seeing it in football in the UK. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're the best coaches for people's children. You know, but we're not the best coaches in terms of running for Man United and football. Now,
well, I mean, look at what happened to Chris Hughton.
Bro,
Nino was squaring for Santos.
Bro,
and send him to Tottenham.
Bro, this is, and then look at this, man. If I was Paul Ince managing Man United, would he have had much grace than Ollie?
As Ollie?
Yeah.
Nah. Ince is at the wheel, bro.
but the reality show is he was a more experienced manager than they could have bought him in. They could have bought him in, but he's like, he would have had 4 weeks to sort this gaff out, bro. Because you know what I mean. But Ali, bro, the grace that he had, I said to brother, just said, yo, bro, if I was Yorkie, because I know Yorkie wanted the job, you know what I mean? Yorkie would want a big job. He wanted that job. But you know what Cole said to him? Why are you doing it, bruv? And he goes, what do you mean? You ain't gonna get no job, G. Why are you going for your badges for? You idiot, man. You know what I'm saying? Told him straight, you know. And I remember they had an interview between each other, and Yorkie said, and Cole said, I told Yorkie, I said, there's no point going for it, because you're not going to get the job. Yeah? And we all know that Yorkie's been trying to get a job. So all trend like this, and it's not by accident, guys. You know what I'm saying? This is a trend-setting situation. And now, this is the time, this is the season, 2020 has really pushed us into this season now, as black professionals now, is to now call it out for what it is. How can we progress it? The reality show is that the pressures need to be put on white people actually relinquishing the foolishness that they've been doing. Because, bro, there's only so much we can do, bro. We can't go up there and burn down a man's yard. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the way forward.
I think the reality is, I'm always very, very realistic about the fact that I live in the UK. In the
Yeah.
UK, black people are 5% of the population.
Yeah.
In London, we're 30% of the population. In Birmingham, I think you're about 10 to 15, and then the other 15 to 20% are Asian.
Yeah. Trust me, yeah. It's more time that. Yeah.
Go Bradford.
Yo,
It's
boy,
80%.
it's 80% bro.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I'm always realistic about it, because the thing is, if you go outside on the other side of the M6 or the M42, that's back down to 1%.
Yeah,
right?
man, straight, bro, 0.5.
That's back down to 1%, right? So I'm realistic about it. However, I just think that when we see it now, we do need to call it out. It may not change, you know. I'm going to have to deal with the fact that they're going to be chatting all year about how great it is that Max Verstappen won his first, forget everything that happened in the last four races. Like, it didn't happen. And over the season, it evens itself out. Like, bro, he was robbed. But, like, I'm going to have to deal with that. Like, I'm going to have to take L. But, as I said, this morning, I realized the power of having authority. And the fact that I was in a position where I could email the team at ITN News, state my position, and say to them that I don't think this is right, and then watch their news segment on Lewis Hamilton be completely different than the national news on the same station. On the same station.
This is it, dude.
And I was like, and I rang them back and I was like, I thank you so much.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much, because I saw where the narrative would have gone on your same station.
Yeah, straight, but and well done, Max.
Like,
you didn't read it, mate.
Yeah, great, well done.
You were the Max. You helped us out, mate. Yeah, I mean, you kept us back. You put us back in charge, mate. You get me?
You know, and I was like, wow. I mean, even before, like the couple years before, I think when Lewis was winning, I think Lewis has won 3 at this point. He was up against his own teammate, Nico Rosberg, who was his best friend growing up as a kid, but got to a point where he hated him. Yeah. And they hated each other, and they were going for a world title, and they'd taken each other off on a couple of times, and Nico wins it with, like, on the last race or something. And then immediately retires. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Never has the opportunity for Lewis to beat him again. I'm like, what kind of a man are you?
Bro, but man, like, it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
I'm like, what? And see him there. So to see him on Saturday chatting all big time about how, I'm a champion, I'm a world champion. Like, fam, sit down.
Bro, man couldn't even defend the championship, bro.
Yourself down.
Man couldn't defend.
Nah. Sorry, I'm just doing my. Are you inviting me on the show? So I'm doing my
No. This is part of mental health. It's mental well-being.
Yeah,
bro, because man have to get off his chest.
Because when you walk outside and someone is saying to you, the sky is pink. You're like, no, bro, it's blue. And actually, most of the time in England, it's grey. It's like, no, it's pink. And like, no, I'm sure. No, can you not see? It's pink,
bro.
Okay, it's pink. It's like, or in this case, it's orange. But like, I don't know. We just got to find ways that we can stand up and call it for what it is.
Yeah, man, it's not right. Now I'm going to put this video up so people can get like an uncomfortable kind of thing. But I want to end on a different note, bro. Obviously, you saw there's another fiasco today called UEFA. bro. Bro. I think we got from UEFA, from FIFA. Yo, bro, these guys get paid P, though, bro. Just stay me up there, bro. I'll just do the job, bro. Man, I get some P, bro. Why can't we just get the old-fashioned way, where man got the rules on a piece of paper, bro, rather than wait at a computer, bro? Because man sent my WhatsApp into when I jump out the window with PSG to. At least you got a letter. but you guys got a bit of a.
And I was like, oh man, you lot are gonna get smashed. And then it was like, oh man.
Well, I was watching a podcast about Man United Pascals, and they were like this because obviously people didn't know. Man United and Liverpool kind of enjoy each other's downfall, or you always have a little interest on the other thing. Obviously,
well, actually, no, to be fair, Liverpool fans are just continuing to watch your downfall, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, as you did during the night. So it's just payback. It's just, your children are going to grow up with the pain that I felt. That's what it is.
Bro, it's going to turn around, bro. It's going to turn around.
In about 30 years. So I'm just going to enjoy this period of time.
Sorry, guys. This is why I don't invite him often enough, because you know what I mean. There's a particular reason why I don't invite Wisdom on the show. There's a definite reason why I don't. But I have to say, the draw. Now, were you, in terms of from your perspective, was you happy with the draw for Liverpool? Because obviously you got messed up a bit there still. Yeah. How are you feeling about Inter Milan?
Inter's not bad. I mean, definitely just checking who it was before.
It was Lille? Was it Salzburg before?
Yeah, Salzburg.
Oh, peak. Yeah. So, that's like a booby prize compared to that one. But the thing is, Inter's getting better and better, and I think people don't realise Inter's improving after getting a new manager and adapting after Lukaku's gone and a couple of players have gone. So they're getting stronger. And again, it's down to how you guys survive over injury-wise going there. All it takes is a couple of injuries, as we all know, for any team, and you're not ready for that game.
Well, more so. I mean, at the end of the day, Europe-wise, Liverpool are a different level to everybody. So in the UK, right? There's no team, when you're going to have a conversation about European football in the UK, you put in the same category as Liverpool, because we do something in Europe. We change into something. I mean, that group that we were
bro,
in.
I was cheering, bro. I was cheering. I was like, yeah, group of death. Yeah, you're down. Bro,
group of death. Group of death. We murdered everybody.
Bro,
everyone got murdered. Man, we got 18 points out of that group of death.
Bro,
and I'm like, how many? We scored something like 30-something goals. It was crazy.
Bro, I was gutted. I was straight up ashamed, because Marcus said to me, I said, who do you think you will win it? We was all talking about PSG, and we've been big team there. He goes, Liverpool. I said, are you stupid, blood? You know what I'm saying? And he's just smirking right now, man. Absolutely smirking. But
the thing is, for both Man City and for PSG, and this is the problem, right? And Tottenham experienced this, and this is why this is such a thing. Generally, you don't win the Champions League unless you've already won the Champions League.
Yeah.
You don't win it on your first occasion to the final.
Yeah, sure.
So Tottenham came into the game against us when we won a final a couple of years ago. Like, yeah, we're going to have a game of football against Liverpool. Liverpool learned.
Yeah.
You do not play
pretty.
No.
Win your final. Simple.
You win your final.
The deadest final ever.
It's not about football.
No.
It's about winning that final.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think, that stopping Man City, which is stopping PSG.
Yeah, true. They don't want it. Yeah.
There's something about that competition where, and this is where I was actually, I was up for the Super League, because I felt like there is a group of teams that kind of need to be playing one another on a regular basis. Because for a lot of the Champions League, we're waiting to just get rid of the dross so that the big teams can play each other. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is anybody really looking out for, Wonder how that Salzburg game is going to go. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, Lille. They might do it this year. Bedrin, come out. Let's get it to
Real Madrid, PSG, bro. Like,
Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea.
Yeah,
That's what we want to see.
yeah, man. Yeah. Simple thing, bro.
So,
No.
simple thing.
It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing like that. But I'm gonna quickly, because time's going from us here, bro. Just gonna hit me. Who you reckon's gonna win? I'm gonna go through quickly. Salzburg or Bayern Munich?
Bayern Munich.
Sporting
Bayern
Lisbon.
Munich already won that game.
It's like how many are they win by? Is it gonna be 8
It's like how
or
many
8 is
will
about?
Bayern Munich going to win by this time?
How many goals shall Lewandowski score? You know what I'm saying? And my colleague calls it the black Hitlers, man. The black men that are taking over the whole German football right now. You got Musiala, you got Gnabry, you got Sane, bro. Listen, man, bro.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
it's causing problems, man. Causing
Bayern,
problems,
man, are a machine.
bro. They're a machine, bro. Sporting Lisbon versus Man City.
Fancy.
Man City, you cool with Man City, yeah? You cool, even when they got no striker.
Fancy.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's cool. Interesting one, bro. Benfica versus Ajax. Okay, cool.
I actually been mad in this thing up this year.
Yeah, no. But you know, when it comes to it, bro, you always have that thing that mads it up at this stage, and when you see them later on, you're thinking, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, second half of the season, you know what I'm saying? They hit some big boy team and just get managed. Chelsea versus Lille. Chelsea, you're not flinching about Lille.
Chelsea.
Okay, cool. Atletico Madrid versus Man United.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Actually, because these two teams, they are actually more level.
Yeah.
When it was you and PSG, I was going to be PSG all day.
Yeah.
But I feel like Diego Simeone is a nutter, and that's the only thing. I think if Man United have hit a stride by then I think that they have a chance with their new manager. I think they have a chance, but I think of all of the ties, I think that's the one that can most go either way.
Either way, no, 100% agree with you. I think we're just going to see what Ragnet does in terms of over the Christmas period over Christmas period, and how he settles down his team and who he gets rid of and who he brings in. You know what I mean? We all know who he needs to get rid of, and who he you want Martial, mate? You say it's for 10 mil. You don't want Origi anymore, do you?
He couldn't get into our team
before
Origi.
But this blue. What about that Japanese brother?
Oh, Minamino's cool, but like he's supposed to be around the fringes. He's not for now. He's for later. He's after Bobby Firmino. But like Origi, nah, man. I'd have Origi over Martial because I know if I'm bringing on Origi with 15 minutes to go and we're 1-0 down, we're winning the game.
Yeah. Straight, bro. Like right about now, bro. He's straight up lucky charm, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro. He might as well buy the packet, bro, and be adverts for Lucky Charms, man.
Like the thing is, there was just to off that topic a little bit. Like there was a stat that he's only scored like 39 goals for Liverpool, but it's just like about half of them were absolutely crucial, defining goals.
Bro, bro, it makes it, bro. It's just is that annoying guy, bro? I was there celebrating 0-0.
He's our Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's the thing that's really funny.
I was gonna like him too, but I wouldn't give him that credit. But okay, okay, Villarreal versus Juventus, bro. What are you saying? Juventus. You cool with Juventus over that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Inter Milan, Liverpool.
Inter is strong.
Yeah.
Not on this form. I mean, the only thing that could have an effect is what the state of
Mane and Salah Mane after
from the African Cup of Nations. That's the biggest thing for this year. I almost feel like we're batting things up now because we're concerned that they will have to take an L during. Of course, man. You can't do 4 games without Mane and Salah. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's going to be more than that. It's going to be like 8 games.
Goodness sake, that's a lot of games.
Because the thing is, they're most like they're in teams that might go to the end and win. So therefore, we may not see them until mid-end of February.
Jeez.
So it's a big thing. Like, you know, I personally would hope that like that they'll do something like get a Suarez on loan for 6 months.
Yeah. Something, yeah.
I mean, that's something because I feel like it's a serious thing.
No, I hear that, bro. All right, then, last one. PSG versus Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Okay, full no way. Yeah. No, I agree with that one. I think Real Madrid. I think PSG is just too empty. It's like defense, attack. It's like, you know, when we used to play football at school and you got pure attackers, pure defense, and there's a big gap in the middle, yeah? You know what I'm saying? That's PSG. And you can't have Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe on the pitch who are not going to put the work in with the midfield of Modric. You know what I mean? All the man there, so we'll just control the midfield, bro. You know what I'm saying? Control it straight. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care if Ramos has gone to there, but you know what I mean? Vinicius, Benzema, you know what I'm saying? And all them players in that team right now, they're just going to tear them apart. So that's just my opinion with that one anyway. Still, yeah.
Real Madrid is still Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Barcelona are not Barcelona. Yeah.
Nah, Robert just gets it done on the night, man. But on the last note, bro, where will Liverpool end up in the league?
Again, African Cup of Nations is the big decider, but I think that there's consistency in the team. You know, not like last season. I feel like Chelsea are a bigger threat than Man City this season. Even though in the moment Chelsea are below, but I see the consistency for the team has been astounding. I mean, I think for most of the games that we played this season, we've scored 2 or more goals. That's just outstanding. Even on games that we've lost, we scored 2 or more goals.
Yeah.
And I think that, I've got more. I suppose as a Liverpool fan, I've always got more hope of us winning the Champions League than the title.
Okay.
However, I think that now that Man City are out of it, we could probably win the cup. What's that cup called again now? League Cup. What's it called?
The Rumbelows Cup.
Yeah, the Rumbelows Cup. Yeah, that one. I think we might win that.
The Milk Cup.
Yeah, the Milk Cup. We might win the Milk Cup or Capabano, whatever it's called now. There's an actual chance. And now that Man City have lost their hold on it, we could actually get another piece of silverware. Even if it is the Mickey Mouse Cup.
People, you notice these guys avoiding the answer here. Just say it, bro. Just first, second, and third, or fourth.
Second or first. I think we'll be top 2.
He just want to say, no, on the real, you end up second.
As a Liverpool fan, you can't get arrogant about the Premier League. There's no point. There is no point us saying every season, we're going to bat it up. No, we can't. We have to treat, because that happened to us before. We got complacent about the league. And treated it like, we have every right, every season to be up in the league. And that's what that Michael Thomas goal taught us. The league is not something we play with. Bruh, it ain't. It is. For a Liverpool fan, when we win 20, because we will win 20 before you do, you win 21. When we get onto 2020 with you, right, you know your world is in trouble. You know that, right? You know
guys,
that.
We're here to end off his podcast because we got an intermission and I ran out of coins to put in the internet meter. You know what I'm saying? You know the ones. Dial-up run out, bro. It's saying I got 10 seconds left on the internet thing, but I usually put 10p coins in. I ran out of 10p coins, man.
You haven't paid for premiums.
Yeah, no. We, you know what I'm saying? We don't do them things right, man. It's a count. The countdown's coming down. It goes 5, 4, 3, 2. You know, but nah. Okay, right. Basically, guys, Wisdom is saying they're gonna be first or second, and we're gonna hold him to it. And when they end up being fourth, we'll revisit. We'll definitely revisit. He laughs even harder.
Where are Man United ending this season then?
Look, we'll be looking to be. I think easy fourth. I think we'll get fourth. I think because all the teams are that poor underneath the top 3, I think we'll get a fourth. Get the things going on. I think we've now got a manager who's got a clue.
You need to be careful of West Ham.
Oh no, 100%. You know what I mean? And I think people emphasize that. I think the thing is now, bro, we've got a manager that actually who bro, you know, Ali was just a guy who just put the big guns on the table and hoped for the best, you know. And I've been saying Ali out for the past 2 years, and not because he's a bad guy. It's just because, you know, you need a manager who's tactically astute. And I feel that, you know, you've got to have that tactical astuteness. And I'm not saying Ragnar is something special, but you can see he's there straight away saying, this is how you're going to play football. I'm not asking you how to play the football. I'm telling you what to do when you go on the pitch, yeah? And when he with Ali, it was more like, yo, Pogba, do your thing. I'll chuck you on the left and do this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do that. Oh, I'll give you a love for missing all the chances, Pogba.
All I know is I thoroughly enjoyed singing Ollie at the Wheel. I think that was one of the most enjoyable sights. See Liverpool fans in Man United in Old Trafford singing Ollie at the Wheel. Full joy, in full voice. That sight will stay with me forever. That's the one.
Bro, it's just that trauma, bro. Reminds me, it took me back to my childhood watching Beardsley and Barnes beat us, murder us. I think Rush scored, and I think we was wearing the black and blue away top, yeah, and you absolutely murdered us, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got man like, bro, them the days. But listen, we're
almost as good for me as Steven Gerrard kissing the camera. That's the image of my childhood. That's.
Bro, like guys, right? Sorry. Wisdom obviously want Rodgers to enjoy his rum cake this year, and OD on it, and maybe drink some of the drink that actually supplied in it. But he's taking me to that place. But I'm not going to go to that place. I've just got some Puka hemp oil tea to drink off right now. Yeah, so pray for me while I just relax in peace. But bro, appreciate the time and appreciate just being real and being honest about the situation with F1 and I think that, you know, I think we just need to be reflective and actually just see reality of what's going on here and actually look at we're putting it out there and actually let everybody really look at yourselves and go, okay, before we start blazing off at Hamilton, why do I subconsciously believe that a white man should always win this title? You know what I'm saying? You know, why is Schumacher automatically always going to be the best?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And we really do need to
reprogrammed. Yeah.
And it's the same thing for me as Beyonce. She worships the devil. Like, how do you know that? Like, and you know, and I'll show you where this is deep. Right? I'm Bayesian.
Right?
Yeah. And my mum and both my parents are from Barbados, and there was a thing came through that when Rihanna, they renamed the street after Rihanna, right? Mm-hmm. And something came through on them, you know, auntie WhatsApp groups from our mum that said that Rihanna had said when she received her award that all the kids should pray to Satan because she got where she was by praying to Satan, and, you know, praying to Jesus doesn't work, right? And my mum saw this and was really upset. And I was like, Mum, that's fake news. So I went and I found the actual thing, the transcript. Yeah. Because Barbados is a small country. There's 200,000 of us. Yeah. Kind of Croydon, right? Do you know what I mean? We're not a big place. So if that was true, then that would be everywhere in Barbados. Mm-hmm. So I found the transcript of what she actually said. What she actually said was, you know, have faith and have belief. And that is the way that you achieve your goals. That's actually what she said. And the reason why my mum was so upset about it was because Rihanna, my uncle passed away recently from cancer. And he was treated at the cancer ward that Rihanna had paid for in the QE. Right? And it's like, hold on. How is it that any black excellence, we've got to put the devil on them? Huh? Why?
Goodness sake, wisdom's going there, you know.
Why is it that Jay-Z's got to be part of the Illuminati? When we don't have that conversation about Justin Timberlake, who, let's be fair, is much more likely to be part of the Illuminati than Jay-Z is. Right? We don't have those conversations because it's uncomfortable, because it's impossible. It's like it's impossible for a black person to just be great. Just be great,
bro. Just preach it, bro. Listen, people. On that note, man. Listen. Nothing but love, brother, man. Thanks for jumping in, man. And this is Roger here and Affinity Extra alongside my boy Wisdom, aka I can't say it's AKA. Listen, nothing but love, big man. Yeah, this is.
You know you're in Birmingham. I know where you live.
I know the studio. This is how we do it, guys.
I got friends up there at Burgers and Johnson's, man. But I know where you live.
Listen, I want to keep my equipment here, people, so I better keep quiet here still. Don't want to get raided. Nothing but love, people. Wisdom, nothing but love.
Thanks for watching this content. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also listen to Affinity Extra 24/7 at affinityextra.com. Don't forget to follow us as well on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at /Affinity Extra. If you wish to support us or if you want supporting as an artist, go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com /Affinity Extra, and don't forget to be